Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daily Anger Bang. My name is JC. This is your late night golf content. Hopefully you guys are having a great weekend. It's a beautiful Saturday, so let's just dive into it. This is the Daily Anger Bang where we get too fired up about all things golf and mostly golf related content for the most part, but I hope you guys enjoy the different setup. It's something that has been a challenge for me. It's been one of those things that you think and you're like, it's going to be so easy. It's just going to be a couple of, switches, a couple, new pieces of software. But at the same time, it's one of those things that I just struggle with for some god-awful reason. But we're here, we're doing it. Struggle with me. These first couple shows are definitely going to be kind of rough around the edges. But at the same time, hopefully it looks good. Hopefully it's presenting well here on YouTube. It's just, it's one of those things that it's just going to take a few episodes to really kind of get the hang of the software and just the switching type stuff. I'm not even really sure what the hell I'm doing. It's one of those things, but it's a fun journey for the most part. These are the things that excite me. These are the things that keep me motivated and moving on, trying to produce the best content possible. So with that being said, guys, let's get to the actual show. Honda Classic Round 3's in the books. But the thing about the Honda Classic is the PGA National, okay, the first 2 days, Thursday and Friday, good God, were just the simplest damn golf course in the world. The wind didn't really blow. The greens were kind of soft. The conditions were not very tough besides the giant lakes. Seemed like some guys were putting together some absolutely incredible rounds, and they were just doing it in a way that was just a little different. And it's one of those things that you look forward to, and you realize that golf courses are built at times with certain elements in mind. For example, wind, specifically the bear trap. Good God. Thursday and Friday did not look like a big bear trap. It looked more like I don't even know what the proper term was, but kind of the wussy trap. I mean, the guy who can't carry it very far. But when you're talking about the PGA Tour guys, they stretch those guys out so far. 185-yard par 3 really is a simple shot. It's either an 8 or a 7 iron. But when you throw wind at them and you firm up the greens, you're going to get bigger scores. And it's one of those things that brings the entertainment factor into play. And as Saturday generally has been moving day these last couple weeks with guys firing super low numbers, this particular week was absolutely a bit different. And you had guys come back from the field who literally just were playing pretty consistent golf. And it's one of those things that you look at, and you look at the leaderboard, and we kind of, half teased yesterday about some of the guys that were back there, like a Zach Johnson, like a JB Holmes, like a Stuart Sink. These guys have a ton of experience and a ton of playing time at this specific golf course, but not only there, but also just in the world in general. And some of these younger guys just don't have that experience coming up either from the Korn Ferry Tour or straight out of college. They just don't have the techniques and or the experience and some of the skill sets to get it done on a Saturday when things are needed to be done. So let's get to the leaderboard. It's one of those things that you realize real quickly that, a guy from Australia might play particularly well in the wind, a particular region where the golf course might blow a little bit, where he has to, flight some shots down. Matt Jones is absolutely kicking ass, just putting together really consistent rounds, specifically that 61 on Thursday that really propels him to the top of the leaderboard. But, not too far back is JB Holmes. I mean, he's going to be paired up with Matt Jones in the final round. But getting to other couple guys who played well today, CT Pam, Aaron Wise, just absolutely, the floor fell underneath him, shooting a 75. But you got guys who, for example, Keegan Bradley, Zach Johnson, Stuart Sink, all sitting at that -5 number. And, on a Sunday where it doesn't look like the wind's going to settle, until maybe next week, how far is too far back? And looking at the leaderboard, I don't know if a guy who's 5 shots back is too far. You get a guy who, has had a history of putting together some low rounds, in the past. Is it one of those things that, Camilo Villegas could do that? The guy did not play particularly well, but he's only 6 back, and with as much water and how tough it is out there, I mean, you just saw guys being able to put themselves in position where triple, quadruple bogey is absolutely in play sometimes. And if you're not hitting it great in the wind, things get a little hairy. I guarantee it. It's one of those things that you just look at and you realize golf is really challenging. Hell, Harry Higgs came off the golf course today, was just struggling. Shirt untucked, full of sweat, hat backwards, just wanting to get off the golf course. So who do we have this week? I mean, who do you got? I mean, it's one of those things that, I made a few bets, a few wagers. Unfortunately, Joaquin Niemann is definitely not playing great golf. He is he's currently sitting, I think, 2 or 3 under. And but I mean, is a guy like JB Holmes gonna get it done? I mean, the slowest guy in the world, who literally is the plumb bob king out at the golf course. I mean, this guy has been notorious, not only said by, by the media, by us here at the ALOHA Press, but just other golfers. I mean, this guy is just absolutely a snail on the golf course. He definitely sets the pace for what? The television coverage? Because good God, it is going to be really rough. And a guy like, Matt Jones sitting at the top of the leaderboard, who is absolutely one of the faster players out on the PGA Tour, is absolutely going to get crushed. He is going to have to slow his game down to watch this idiot freaking plumb bob. I'm not a huge fan of the hefty, individual. He is not a fan of mine. I'm definitely not one of a JB Holmes fan. I mean, the storyline at Golf Channel after the round today was how slow play is going to be tomorrow. And then the guy's not even on the freaking golf course. It just absolutely irritates me to a point where are we going to have this guy in the final round, in the final group, be put on the clock, really kind of put Mike at a particular position where he's not going to be able to even play, comfortable golf based on just his natural speed? It's going to be an evolving story. We're going to look after it. I look forward to watching the golf course and the golf tournament tomorrow at the Honda Classic. It's something I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a pretty interesting Sunday finish. It's one of those things that, they talked about. This could definitely change some of these guys' lives. I mean, a guy like Aaron Wise, absolutely, if he could come back, after shooting 75 and get himself in contention, get himself in a position where, a win would absolutely just propel him into having a job for the next couple of years, which would be absolutely crazy. Camille Vegas, I mean, if he gets it done, if he gets one of those top spots, I mean, Russell Henley, I mean, these are kind of crazy. But even looking down the list here, you got Steve Stricker, HV3, Shane Lowry, all at 3 under. So it's one of those things that I'm looking forward to it, and it's something that kind of is shocking because next week we got a WGC where it's just going to be pumped full of the top 64 players in the world without some of the substitutions. We look forward to chatting about that maybe on Monday or Tuesday night. But with that being said, guys, really appreciate you joining me here on the Daily Anger Bang. I know I get a little fired up. I might use some bad language occasionally, but I've got a date, okay, with my wife, okay? I got a date with my wife, a cigar, a cocktail, and a fire pit. And I'm absolutely looking forward to that. 75 days ago, I did this challenge where it absolutely almost broke me. It almost broke me. But tonight is the payoff. We're going to go out and enjoy ourselves. So with that being said, guys, really appreciate it. And go sign up for the Golf Email newsletter. Make sure you like, subscribe, and also leave a comment below. And it tells YouTube that, hey, we're actually producing halfway decent content, something that's going to bring value to your life here on the Daily Anger Bang. So really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a great night. And as always, hit bombs, attack pins, and Aloha Press. Cheers.